Hey everybody, this is Bobby Nahum with AMAC Real Estate Company. Hope everybody's having a great day. So this is the first video that I am sending out to everybody. A little bit late on the video bandwagon, but better late than never. So basically I'm going to be sending out videos to everybody from time to time, just with good information on the real estate market, what's going on with it. Useful videos on with good information on selling your house and good information for home buyers, as well as I'll be sending out the video every quarter along with the quarterly market reports, just to give you guys video synopsis of the quarterly market statistics as well. That way, if you guys prefer to watch the video or listen to the video while you're driving around the car and get the information as opposed to sitting down reading it, you have that option. But I'll still also be sending out the written quarterly market reports as well, in case you're more of a visual person and you prefer to read the reports instead of hearing the video. Or you guys can do both. You watch the video and read the reports. But I'll be sending them out together in the same email, and I'll also be creating a YouTube channel where I'll post all my videos. So if you guys just delete an email by accident or something like that and want to go back and look at videos, you can do that, and I'll be sending out that information on the YouTube channel once I get that created. So today we are talking about the local real estate market here in Tallahassee, the fourth quarter year-over-year statistics. We're going to look at how the fourth quarter of 2019 compared to the fourth quarter of 2018. We're going to look at Leon County as a whole, and then we're also going to look at the county by each quadrant. So northeast, southeast, southwest, and I'll break down all the metrics for you guys. We're going to look at 5 major metrics, the same ones I always send out to you guys that we analyze. The first is going to be number of listings. The second is going to be number of homes sold. Third is going to be home prices. The fourth would be the sale price to list price ratio, which measures basically how much homes are selling for compared to what the asking prices are. And then we're also going to look at days on the market as well, number of days on the market, what that's doing. And we'll also touch a little bit on what's going on with distress sales as well. Distress sales nowadays are not really even much of a thing. They're very rare, but I still like to give the information on what's going on with distress sales as well. So let's get into it. Let's start out by talking about Leon County as a whole, what we saw. So overall, the economy and the real estate market are doing good. I'm sure you've heard that by now. But I think this is the first time in a long time that I've seen every single metric go in the right direction. Not one metric was bad, going in the wrong direction. Everything was good. So listings were up by 4.9% in the fourth quarter compared to a year earlier. This is kind of a reversal in trend from what we had seen earlier in 2019. We saw a number of properties listed for sale going down the first 3 quarters. And as you guys probably already know this, we're very low on housing inventory right now. We're running at a 3 to 4 month supply of homes. A normal supply is about 6 months. So we're still short, but we did see a 5% year-over-year increase, which is a good thing. So sales were way up 17.2% in the fourth quarter of 2019 compared to a year earlier. Home prices, we saw a 3.8% increase, modest gain, but strong still. Anything between the 3 to 5% range is considered historically normal. So at 3.8%, we're right in there where where what would be considered historically normal. The sale price to list price ratio, which again measures how much homes sell for versus what the asking price is, went up slightly, about 0.1%, actually 0.11% is what it went up. And in the average, on average, the average home sold for 97.75% of the asking price. So that's a very indicative of the fact that we are in a seller's market. So it's a great market to sell your house. Which leads me into the next metric is average days on the market. So average days on the market, because it's such a good time to sell, went down. So it's taking took less time in the fourth quarter of 2019 to sell a home than it did a year earlier. Went down 3.1%. So average days on the market before homes sold was 62 days. The year before was 64 days. So, and finally, distress sales. So again, distress sales are short sales, foreclosures. They only made up 2.6% of all sales in the fourth quarter of 2019, and that's down from, we're at 3.3% in 2018, the fourth quarter of 2018. So just to kind of put this in perspective, back during the early part of the last decade, 2010, 2011, that's kind of when we were at the height of the foreclosure market. We were seeing distress sales making up 25 to 30% of total sales back then. Obviously, back then, distress sales were a huge part of our market. Now, distress sales is a very, very small segment of the market. And the few distress sales that we do see out there, they don't really come at much of a discount like they used to. So, investors, sorry to break the news to you, but I think a lot of those great deals that we used to see are a thing of the past. You can find good deals nowadays, but it's much harder. They're much farther and fewer between. So, all right, so that's Leon County as a whole. So now we're going to move into the northeast part of Leon County. So the listings decreased in the northeast by 6.2%. Sales went up. They were up 14%, which is pretty close to Leon County as a whole. But the big difference in the northeast, and this is the only quadrant where we saw this, was prices went down 3.3% year over year. This is kind of a surprise maybe to some, but if you look at what's gone on over the past couple years in the northeast, it's really not that much of a surprise. We were seeing home prices increase by 10-15% for probably 2 years in a row in the northeast, and that's just such a high rate of increase that it's not sustainable. So I think what we are seeing going on in the northeast part of the county is we're seeing a correction. It rose too quick, too fast, and now I think prices are resetting. And I think we'll probably continue to see that over the next year or so. At worst, we'll see prices, I think, continue to modestly decrease. I think best case scenario is we may see very, very, very small gains, maybe 1%, something like that in the northeast over the next year. But I wouldn't look for any big price increases in the northeast over the next year as prices kind of hit the reset button there. So sale price to list price ratio, we saw an increase of 0.22%. Homes in the northeast are selling for 97.89% of asking price. Days on the market, we saw a 5.1% decrease, with the average home sitting on the market for 56 days. And then the distress sales to total sales ratio did go up a little bit in the northeast, but still very low. It was at 2.3% in the fourth quarter. So still very low distress sale to total sale ratio in the northeast. So moving on to the northwest, a lot of activity in the northwest part of the county. Listings went up by 32.4%. Sales went up by 19.6%. Prices, huge, went up by 26.9%. Almost a third prices went up from a year earlier in the northwest. Days on the market, 6.3% decrease. Average home sat on the market for 63 days. We saw a sale price to list price ratio of 97.4% in the northwest, which was slightly down from the year before, but still very strong at over 97%. And then distress sales only made up 2.2% in the fourth quarter of 2019 compared to a year earlier when they were double at 4.4%. So a lot of good things happening in the northwest. A lot of increase in activity, big time increase in activity, increase in prices. Might be surprising to some people, but not really. The Northwest has been lagging. It's been undervalued, in my opinion, for a while, and I think what's going on now is it's starting to finally catch up. You've got a lot of people who are maybe looking in the Northeast or started looking in the Northeast, but got priced out because prices have gotten so high in the Northeast, and those people have started shopping in the Northwest. So you've got some good areas in the Northwest that are still undervalued, and I think that's what's going on is people are moving into the Northwest more and more and driving the prices up. So the next area we're going to look at is the southeast part of the county. So the southeast, that's going to include your Southwood area. It's going to include Appalachia Parkway East. It's going to include, Blairstone, Orange Avenue area. So in parts of the south side too. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the southeast. A lot of new developments. There's a lot of stuff moving over there. You got a lot of new apartment construction going on over there. You've got a new hospital that went up over on the corner of Capitol Circle, Southeast, and Orange Avenue. And you got other things, other businesses and things popping up in that area. So a lot going on over there that's drawing people over that area. So the listings decreased by big time, 11.4%. Sales went way up by 23.1%. Prices went way up by 14.1%. The sale price to list price ratio went down a little bit, but homes in the southeast in the fourth quarter sold for 97.97% of asking price, almost 98%, which is very strong. Average days on the market went down by 11.5%, down to 54 days on average for a home to sell. And then the distress sale to total sale ratio went down by 1.3%, down to 2.4% is what the total distress sale to total sale ratio is. So again, very strong numbers in the southeast. And then the southwest, the last quarter, or the last quadrant. So in the southwest, we saw listings increase by 28.8%. Sales went up by 16.9%. Prices went up by 6.3%. And then the sale price to list price ratio went up 1.97%. We're at about almost 96%, 95.97% is what the sale price to list price ratio was in the Southwest. Still very strong. Days on the market increased. Actually, they went up in the Southwest. You have a much higher average days on the market at 126 days, almost double what the other quadrants are in the Southwest. And then the total sale to distress sale ratio went down. You're at a little bit higher number in the Southwest for the distress sales. They're at about 7.2%. That's where they were in the fourth quarter. So the Southwest is kind of the, the least desirable quadrant of Tallahassee to live in. So that's why, or at least it's considered the least desirable, which is why you see kind of numbers that aren't as good as the other quadrants. So still some room for improvement. I would expect to see the Southwest continue to improve as the economy and the real estate market gets better and the prices keep getting pushed up. So, but again, that's the market's doing good. That's all the metrics. I'd say overall, we're headed in the right direction. The economy's doing really good. Overall wage increases are going up. I think we saw about a 4% increase in wages last year, which is fueling this demand for homes. And honestly, if the supply of homes wasn't so low right now, I think we'd have even more home sales. I know in my own career, I've got buyers I'm working with that, they're ready to go, qualified, but it's just hard to find them the house. So people are looking for longer, and in some cases, people are just stepping out of the real estate market altogether and continuing to rent because they just don't find, they're not finding what they want in their price range. So, but the sales will probably continue to go up though throughout the year, and prices are up, and then everything else is good. Days on the market are going down. We have a strong sale price to list price ratio overall, and distress sales are pretty much a non-issue nowadays. They're kind of a thing. You know, they're not really affecting our real estate market at all like they used to. Throughout the year, I would expect to see a continuation of these trends, maybe at a more moderate pace. It is an election year, so that's you know, in my 13 years in the business, it seems that every election year is a little bit slower than it normally would be if it wasn't an election year. So I think we'll continue to see these trends that we saw in the fourth quarter. I think prices will go up at a little bit more of a slow rate. I think home sales will probably slow down a little bit while still going up, but just at a more moderate pace than they have been. So, you know, and that's pretty much it. You know, interest rates for mortgages will probably stay very low. So if you're looking to buy a house this year, you know, it's still a great time in terms of getting low interest rates. And then obviously, if you're looking to sell this year, I mean, the market's hot. You know, all you need to do is make sure you price the property right and get it cleaned up so it shows well. And you shouldn't have any problem getting a house sold in this market. So that's it for the fourth quarter 2019 real estate market report. Of course, if you guys ever have any questions, feel free to email me, text me, call me, Facebook, message me, whatever. And if you guys have, you know, any real estate related needs, you or your friends, obviously contact me as well. I'd be love to help you in any way I can. And that's it. And I hope you guys have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks.